While NDTV continues to report from Jerusalem in Israel, it's Prime Minister Narendra Modi's second visit coming up, and joining us exclusively to talk more about it is Minister Nir Barkat, the Israeli Minister for Economy and Industry. Thank you very much, Minister.
Welcome to Israel.
Thank you very much. This is my fifth visit to Israel,
Wonderful.
your beautiful country, and we've met in India as well when you were visiting.
Indeed. Yes.
How are you looking at this visit of the Prime Minister?
Oh, it's really exciting. All of Israel, we love India.
Mm-hmm.
We love the Indian people. We love the people-to-people relationship.
Mm-hmm.
The two governments are doing really well together.
Yeah.
And the fact that the Prime Minister Netanyahu and Prime Minister Modi get along so well. As a matter of fact, I feel the same with Minister Piyush Goyal,
Right.
Minister of Economy.
Right.
And we have now a mission from Israel in India.
Oh, wonderful.
Negotiating the free trade agreement between us.
So can I ask you,
Yeah.
how soon do we expect the FTA? Because India has declared one with the EU.
Uh-huh.
India has an intent interim agreement with the US. We have one with New Zealand, Oman in the last 8 months, and UK. And Israel is one of the closest partners.
So
are you putting a timeline to it? Can we
we
expect
decided-
it in 26?
Hopefully so. The reason that we have a mission now,
Yeah.
when in the visit at the beginning of December, Piyush Goyal came here to Israel. With a mission, and we really understood that we want to move on the fast track. So the Israeli mission is in India now. I believe in a few months the Indian mission will come to Israel,
Right.
and we want to make something significant as soon as this year, and I believe it's possible. So does Piyush Goyal think it's possible.
Okay, wonderful. For our viewers, if you could just look towards here and tell me, why do you think Indian economy is important and significant? Why would Israel want to partner with India? Why is India's economy important?
Well, it's very complementary. What we do, we're innovative. We have new ideas, cutting edge technology, but we're 10 million people.
Mm-hmm.
So it's difficult for us to scale to the magnitude that India knows how to do.
Right.
And so I think that it's very clear that India today is becoming the third largest economy.
Mm-hmm.
We get along so well. Your growth is so quick and swift,
Mm-hmm.
1.4 billion people.
Mm-hmm.
But we view India as a gateway to Asia.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 59% of the world population.
Mm-hmm.
And so when we feel so comfortable that Israeli companies could open office in India and collaborate with Indian companies, then it opens up huge new opportunities for Israeli entrepreneurs. So we are out-of-the-box thinkers, but we need to get in the box.
Right.
And India is the box. And so I think that the common denominator, the complementary element here is very, very significant. And I'm so happy that both governments see eye to eye the huge opportunity of collaboration.
Well, Minister Barkat, India-Middle East Economic Corridor was
Yeah.
announced on the sidelines of G20 more than
Mm-hmm.
2.5 years ago. The war, unfortunately, put a status quo on that. Do you think now that there's a ceasefire, now there are talks on FTA, now the Prime Minister is coming here and there's an elevation of the partnership perhaps to a strategic spatial partnership,
Yeah.
do you think the IMEC would be a reality soon?
First of all, it's a beautiful vision.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe now that there's an opportunity to fulfill that vision and make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
So we have from India to the Emirates, that's an easy one. The Emirates are now, when I speak to our friends in the Emirates, they see how to pass the products or the corridor through either Saudi Arabia or Iraq to Israel, to Europe, and we're looking at our part, which is a gateway in Bet She'an, which is the east gateway towards Jordan and Iraq, or to the east, and from the Haifa port, looking to Europe, and we're starting to plan our part of this whole vision, which is a beautiful vision. I think that it's not just a corridor. It's not just for products. It's for energy. It's for information and data, transportation. It's way over and beyond just a little corridor. And looking into the future, it's a very meaningful project. Now, in order to get there, we do need to make additional steps with the Saudis and Iraq in order to make this happen. But we believe that this peace will happen. And so we're willing to start to plan the vision and the execution of the IMEC.
You know, you mentioned about Haifa, and Haifa plays a very critical role when it comes to history of India and Israel. But there's also investment involved. A lot of
Yes.
industrialists are investing in Israel. You have the Adanis from India investing in the Haifa port. How is that going? How does Israel look at the Adani investment there? Would you potentially want other sectors also where Adanis could potentially come in?
Adani was very smart. We know that they own a lot of the ports in India. Now he owns one of the ports that we have in Haifa, I believe, and I spoke to the people from Adani, and they envisioned that this will happen in the future. So we're here to help them succeed. We're here to open up more investments in infrastructure in Israel to any additional Indian companies. And there's a lot of dynamics and discussion between Minister of Economy Piyush Goyal and myself. We became really good friends in this process. And we're looking at how to enable more and more Indian companies to bid and to succeed in infrastructure in Israel. In the past, maybe a few years ago, India was focused internally.
Yeah.
But now I see this huge impact, this giant waking up called India,
Right.
that can influence and make a good partnership here in Israel as well. And I'm committed to help Indian companies succeed in Israel.
Minister, on a lighter note, you're mentioning that Piyush Goyal is a good friend, and you
Very good friend.
tweeted about that as well. But Donald Trump, the US president, says that he's a tough negotiator, and Prime Minister Modi is a tough negotiator. So how is the negotiation going to happen when there's a tough negotiator and a tough Israel meeting on the same table?
We're also perceived to be tough. But when Piyush Goyal was in Israel and we had a beautiful evening celebrating together, I said to him that he's like an Israeli. Tough on the outside, but really soft on the inside. And when you know how Piyush Goyal, his heart is in the right place, and he's a tough negotiator indeed. But I think that what we've cracked is how to make this happen, how to make this work together. And so we're so aligned, we're so alike. When I took Piyush Goyal to see the ancient city of Jerusalem, the city of David, 3,500 years ago, the Jews came back from slavery in Egypt, and each of the tribes had a piece of land. However, the temple was the center of the world, and you saw so many people come and worship the temple in Israel, in Jerusalem. And I was honored to be 10 years mayor of the city of Jerusalem. So when we sat there and we saw the history, we said to ourselves, we're two ancient people, huge thousands of years of history.
Right.
We have respect to other people, but we know what we want, and we are here forever. And we're also challenged by terror. We're challenged by similar challenges in this world. And so we are so alike in many, many ways. There's a reason why many Israelis, when they finish the army, go to India, because it's a beautiful, safe haven for Israelis. We love to go there. And I think that's what makes this work so well.
You know, Minister, what comes to mind is Prime Minister Narendra Modi's focus on manufacturing in India. You know, there's this slogan of Make in India.
Make in India, of course.
And Atmanirbhar Bharat, self-reliant India.
Yeah.
So do you think Israel can play an incredible role in that, especially when it comes to defense? I know that India and Israel do not speak much about the defense or the intelligence or the security cooperation, but potentially could we see, because Israel's top product is the Iron Dome, could we possibly see in future Iron Dome being manufactured in India?
Not just Iron Dome or security. It's not just about security. Look, if you're talking about big products, then we can't produce. You're 150 times larger than Israel. We cannot produce large products and ship them to India. It doesn't make sense. So the reality is that we do want to have joint ventures. We do want to have production closer to the markets in India. The scope, the size of India is something that many Israelis cannot understand.
Yeah.
I mean, we are focused on a 10 million people market.
Right.
So that's our local market. On top of that, Israeli entrepreneurs sort of think, where do they want to locate the business abroad? So you want to put it in a place that you have a free trade agreement with different countries, that if, God forbid, if there's problems, the two governments can help and intervene and make sure justice is served. But you also want to make sure that you feel comfortable when you go with your spouse to abroad. You want to make sure that people feel safe. And India is an excellent place.
There's no anti-Semitism there.
No anti-Semitism, and it's dealt with very, very harshly by the governments, and we thank the Indian government for that. And it makes sense to go through India even if you want to go to other places in Asia. So as Minister of Economy, I'm recommending our economy and our entrepreneurs. We see India as a hub, as a current but future huge hub for people that want to work abroad. And so if you got big products to market, then it makes sense to go and make in India. So that concept is certainly part of what we're going to be discussing in the free trade agreement. And also, if you want to have a production line in India, we are looking at how to invest in India, right? To Israeli-related investments. In other words, if you want to have, let's say, something in Iron Dome, it makes sense to have a subsidiary there because you're talking about a huge amount of products. Then once we work out all the details, we'd be more than happy to collaborate and have more and more business done in India. Okay. It's in our best interest.
Okay, I'm a journalist. I'm looking for a big headline here. So are you confirming that there are talks on defense and Iron Dome? If not settled till now, but there are talks underway.
There are talks all across all sectors. Okay. Defense, economy, culture, friendship, alignment of interest. I see the huge collaboration that we have now with India, starting at the top of the two leaders of our countries, going through the economy, the two ministers of economy and trade, and Guy Shankar as well is really interested in collaboration and bringing more Indian employees to work in Israel, all across the board. I believe that right now, the side by side to what we're doing with the Americans and working on the agreements with them, the highest priority I have is making sure that Piyush Goyal and Modi are happy with the relationship with Israel.
All right, let's hope that the FTA is signed soon and India and Israel become as close as the closest of partners. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Mr.
Welcome
for joining us. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, that was Minister of Economy from Israel speaking exclusively to NDTV about the potential of the India-Israel friendship. But he confirms that apart from defense, a lot of gamut of issues are being discussed under the FTA that could be a reality very soon. But also, Israel is looking at India as a gateway to Asia and a hub of manufacturing and joint manufacturing with Israel.
Amen.
Reporting from Israel for NDTV, this is Aditya Rajkor.